Hi class, today we're going to be talking about a geometry concept on perimeter. So make sure you have these notes directly in front of you. If you don't, always remember that you can always print out or you can write out by hand. Our essential question today is how do you find the perimeter of a polygon? So just a quick little review. What is a polygon? A polygon is simply a shape with many sides. So when we think about different shapes, we think about triangles, squares, rectangles, trapezoids, and other polygons that have multiple sides. Now when we look at perimeter, the perimeter is simply the distance around a figure. So make sure when we are filling in the notes that you also are filling in the notes as well. So you're simply just going to write in the word distance. To find the perimeter, in most cases, you just simply add all the sides. Now, there are 4 steps that I would like for you to follow on how to find the perimeter of a figure. Step number 1, we want to clearly identify what the figure is, so you know exactly what steps to take. All right, and in step number 2, we want to go ahead and write the formula. Each polygon will have separate formulas based on the type of shape it is. Step number 3, we would like to go ahead and add up all the sides. And then finally, we want to go ahead and make sure that we evaluate or solve what we're looking for. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these shapes here at the bottom. So we know that we've got our triangle, which has 3 sides. So you simply just go side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3. The square has 4 sides. So they have a basic formula because of the reason that in a square, all 4 sides are congruent. That means they are all equal to each other. So all 4 of the sides are simply going to be the same exact number, whatever it is. So in this case, they say the formula would be perimeter is equal 4 times b, b of course being the value of whatever that side length is. And then a rectangle, it's very similar to a square, except only 2 of the sides are the same measurement. So in this case, we know that the widths are the same, and then we know that the lengths are the same. So in this case, there are 2 lengths, so 2 times L, plus 2 times the width, so 2W. So in this case, you just have to understand that only 2 of each of the sides are going to be the same exact length. Now for a parallelogram, it's simply a rectangle, but in this case, as you can tell, there are some slight differences in the angles. So in a rectangle, it has 4 90-degree angles. However, a parallelogram does not have that. So in this case, it still is going to be following the same rule as a rectangle, that 2 of the side lengths are the same measurement. So in this case, side 1, side 2 are the same. So that's why they go 2 times S or 2 times side. And then of course, the bottom and top lengths of the parallelogram are also the same. So that's where 2 times B comes in, because both of those values will be the exact same number. Now the trapezoid, as you could tell, there are 4 sides of a trapezoid. We have 4 different sides, so all 4 side lengths can be different sides, so different measurements. So not all 4 sides will be the same exact measurement. So make sure you do pay attention to that as well. And then finally, a circle. Most people ask, well, what's the distance around a circle? And the distance around a circle works a little bit differently. It is the circumference of a circle. So the distance around a circle is when you are looking at something called circumference. And there's a formula for that. The circumference formula is C is equal to pi times the diameter. So in this case, in a circle, there will be a line that goes through the circle, and it goes from one end to the other, and it goes through the origin, which is usually a little dot in the middle, a little point in the middle, and then that diameter, you multiply it by the value of pi. So in this case, pi would be 3.14, approximately, it is a rounding value, times whatever the diameter is. So whatever the diameter is in this case, you would simply multiply it by the 3.14. And then that is what perimeter of a circle is. So again, perimeter of a circle is different from all the other figures in this picture. So make sure you are aware of that. All right, so now in this next slide, we are going to be looking at some practice problems where we are going to practice finding perimeter of different shapes. So in this case, we have squares, rectangles, triangles. We have some figures that are called irregular figures. Irregular figures are simply shapes that are made up of other polygons. So in this case, it could be 2 rectangles in a square. It could be 3 rectangles. It could be trapezoids with another trapezoid. It could be a triangle with a rectangle, things like that. So you just have to be really creative when you're looking at it. So in this case, we just kind of remember that perimeter is simply the distance outside of the actual shape. All right, so let's go ahead and do a practice problem with example number 1. In example number 1, it is a square, and we know that it is a square because 2 of the side lengths are both the same exact measurement, which also insinuates that if this top measurement is blank, then we know that this bottom measurement is actually going to be the same exact value. So this value up here is also 7.3 centimeters. Then of course we look over here that we see this right-hand side is 7.3. Well, that would then mean that the left-hand side is also 7.3. So all 4 side lengths are 7.3 centimeters. So in this case, when we look at the perimeter, we know that this is a square because all 4 sides are exactly the same measurement. So we're going to go 4 times the sides. So now we're just going to simply go 4 times 7.3. And of course, you can multiply out by hand. You can go ahead and use a calculator if you need to. And we can just go ahead and multiply 4 times 7.3. And that ends up giving us a perimeter of 29.2 centimeters. And then that's where we end up with our perimeter, our distance around the square. So that's basically saying what is the measurement just going around. And in example number 2, we have a rectangle. And we know it's a rectangle because the side lengths are different. So we have 9 centimeters on the top, which means that 9 centimeters is also going to be on the bottom. Then we notice that it's 4 centimeters on the right, so that means it's going to be 4 centimeters on the left. So since each of the 2 sides have a different measurement, we know this is a rectangle, and it would follow the perimeter formula of perimeter is equal to 2 times length plus 2 times width. So in this case, we know that the length in this case is going to end up being our 9 centimeters. So we can go ahead and go 2 times 9 plus 2 times the width, which is 4. So we know that 2 times 9 is going to give us 18. And then 2 times 4 is 8. So in this final step, we're just going to go ahead and add those 2 values together, and that's going to give us 18 plus 8, and that will make this 26 centimeters. So just understand, you want to make sure that you are labeling your units, that you are aware that the measurements do have specific lengths and how they are measured. So in real life, there is a difference between a centimeter versus a foot. We know that, a yard is different than a meter, things like that. And then for example number 3, we're going to go ahead and add up our triangle. So this is where some kids get a little confused because they see letters, they see squares inside of the triangle, but you have to think about what is the question asking you. It's asking you to find the perimeter. That means the distance outside of the shape. So in this case, when I think of the distance, I think of just what's going on outside. So from B to C, it's 20 in length. From B to A, it's 25. And then from C to A, it is going to be 15. So those 3 values are the important values here with our triangle. So we know that the perimeter formula is simply just going to be the 3 sides. So we're going to have side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3. So all 3 of those sides are going to be added together. So now we're just going to go 20 plus 25 plus 15. And once we add all of those up, we're going to go ahead and end up with the value of 60. So 60, but then there's no units. So keep that in mind, that if they don't give you an actual measurement system, then you need to go back and think about, well, we are measuring in units, so we just don't know the exact units. So in this case, I would just say units, because it is the measurement. So perimeter would equal 60 units. So take a moment and make sure that you've copied down each one of the steps. You want to make sure you copy the formulas. You want to make sure that you copy your work on which you are either multiplying or you're adding or both. And then of course you want to make sure that you are labeling each one of your units so you know what you're supposed to be measuring. All right, and for our final example, we're going to go over example number 4. Now, example number 4, as you can tell, is not a typical polygon. It's not a square. It's not a rectangle. It's not a triangle. It's definitely not a circle. It's not a trapezoid. It's actually an irregular figure, meaning that it is a shape that's made up of other shapes. So there are multiple shapes inside of this, and it can be broken up as that as well. And so this is actually very common in real life because this is how homes are created. This is how buildings are made, and they're typically made in irregular shapes. So now in this case, we are still just looking for the distance around. So most people would ask, well, what would the formula be? Well, if you look at it very carefully, some of the side lengths are going to be the same, but then majority of them are different. So if you look at all the different sides on the outside, there are multiple outsides. So in this case, we've got this side length that is 16 feet. We then have this side length, which is supposed to match up to the other side length over here, so they're both 12 feet. Then we have this side length down here, which is 4. And this one is also 4, so they match. Then we have this side length right here, and it matches this side length over here, which is going to be 6 feet. And then finally, we have this measurement right over here. And in this measurement, as you could tell, it's going to be a little bit different because if we're looking at how a measurement really stands out, it's not necessarily the same distance as anything else here. So in this case, what you would simply do is just know that this measurement is going to have to be found because it doesn't match up with everybody else. So the way you would do this is you notice that down here, this measurement is 4, this measurement is 4. And you remember this measurement up here was 16. So 4 plus 4, when you add those two together, is 8. And so that means if that's 8, and this up here is 16, so this missing measurement would also be 8. Because you have to find that missing measurement. So now we've got all the outside measurements that we can finally add up. So a formula here, if you think about it, we've got a couple side lengths that are the exact same measurement. So we know that two sides are going to be the same. So we've got 2 times s plus we've got some widths that are the same. So we've got 2 widths. And then we've got 2 other lengths that are going to be the same. But then we have 2 values that are completely different. So we can just give them like different letters. So we can call one like side 2, and then we can call one side 3, because we don't really know their exact measurements. So in this case, we're just simply looking at just some different side lengths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 different side lengths here. So if we wanted to write it out, we would simply just write it out as the perimeter is 2 times 12, because there are 2 12s, plus 2 times 4, because there are 2 4s. Then we can go 2 times 6, because there's 2 6s. And then we can just add the 8 and then add the 16. So we can just add all the outsides. Okay? So 2 times 12 we know is 24. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 6 is 12. Then we just can add 8 plus 16. That's going to give us 24. So now what I can just simply do is add up all those rest of those values, and that would give me my final evaluation of the perimeter, the entire distance of my irregular shape. So I have 24 plus 8 plus 12 plus 24, and that's going to give me a perimeter of 68. Now we do know the units. The units are feet, so I'm simply just going to write 68 feet. So that's it. And we just found the perimeter, the entire distance of the outside of that irregular shape. So now in the next section, these are your got it problems. These 3 problems are here for you to practice on your own to see how much of the lesson you understood. Remember to always go back and use the lesson as a guide. Use the examples to help guide you as you are trying to evaluate each one of these problems. Make sure you look at the formulas and you follow them exactly. If you have any other questions, make sure you contact your teacher, and we will see you next time. Bye.